Now that brings us to the last topic, which is an important topic. I don't like to talk about it. I'll be honest with you. I don't like to bring this up, right? But these things, my dear brothers and sisters, they require support. And let me tell you why. So a quick background, right? I haven't charged for these courses, and I don't intend to charge for these courses since the day that I started. Yes, all these courses have been free, alhamdulillah, because I'm on a mission. May Allah make it easy for me to teach people Quran and specifically Arabic so that they can access Islamic knowledge for themselves, right? But these courses, they're not free because we got outside funding, and they're not free because delivering it is free. Neither are they free for any of these reasons. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of costs involved. And what I tried before, some of the things I tried before, obviously, is I went through the volunteers route, trying to get volunteers, didn't go very well, and the likes. So right now, we got major challenges, right? And this website I'm talking about to you right now, I actually hired a team, yes? And you would have all of you would have noticed that recently, the promo video is of top quality. I've got the academic calendar, I've got a graphic designer to do that. And some of the videos I'm posting and assets I'm posting, you can see there's a major upgrade. It's not because I'm doing it. I couldn't graphically design my name if my life depended on it, right? So I'm actually hiring people, and I decided to pay them in advance from my own pocket so that when it comes to this difficult conversation for me, I've got something to show for it. I didn't want to be like, hey, let's do a fundraising campaign so that we could do X, Y, and Z. Rather, I said to myself, show the people, what can be done with some resources. And, based on that, they will see the value of their support, basically, and what they can bring to the table. So the current challenges that we have, my dear brothers and sisters, is that my audience is growing, which is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put benefit through all of you. But with the growing audience, you have growing responsibilities. So you have extra software you have to pay for. As a matter of fact, you have to go up in tiers. So my email provider, for example, they have a specific price for 1,000 subscribers, 2,000. Now I've passed the 3,000 subscribers and I have to pay extra. And that goes for Zoom as well. I just had to pay $50 today in order to get you 200 people on this call, because the Zoom limit with the professional license is 100. I have to get an add-on to get another 500 people, another 400 people to join. So with the audience increasing, software costs increase. You have to provide support to more people. And please, I sincerely apologize to all of you who might have emailed me with a question, needed some support, and I didn't get back to. Wallahi, I've been overwhelmed, right? But I've tried, and I've started to hire someone. So I've actually hired someone that helps me with getting through these support tickets, if you like, so that I can address the most important ones, and the easy ones, the person I hired can deal with it. Content management. As we continue, the content only increases, which means more videos to upload to YouTube. I mean, now it's uploading to my website, alhamdulillah. Needs a lot of work. Moderating, the Telegram channels, everything. Equipment, even equipment-wise. My laptop is getting by, right? But the more work you're doing and the more strain you're putting on it, all of these things, my dear brothers and sisters, are extra costs, extra burdens. And just to show you what my monthly costs are at the moment, and to be honest, I probably shouldn't have, but I'm actually accruing a debt now, trying to, because I didn't really notice that I'm actually spending way more than I can afford. But for the past couple of months, I've been accruing a debt, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to share with you my screen to show you. So this is like a database where I added all the different expenses. So you have subscriptions. Now these are the subscriptions I pay for, okay? And all of these are softwares that you're familiar with. Like we have LearnWorlds, that's what I use for my website. We got ConvertKit, that's for the email. Luma events where you sign up. Zoom Pro license, large meeting add-on for the $50. Then we have Tally, the forms that I use Dropbox to save everything. I use ClickUp for project management, WooClap, Book Widgets. All these are tools that I use. And someone might argue, why use all these tools? Why not save money? Well, these tools, they save me time, right? If it wasn't for these tools, I had to hire people, right, to manage the load. But if you look at these, just the software costs, right, they total up to almost $700, just the software cost on a monthly basis. Then we have services. I've hired a media management company for $400 a month that helps me with the graphic design, video editing, and uploading the content. Then we have wages. Like there's teachers that I hired to help me with teaching. There's a support agent that I've hired. There's someone that I've hired, a virtual assistant that helps me with uploading everything. So the support agent's like $200 a month. The virtual assistant is about $250 a month. And then more things to do with curriculum development. So I'm easily going beyond the $1,000 a month in terms of costs in trying to keep this thing afloat. So it's not feasible. I mean, it's not sustainable for me anymore. It wasn't sustainable anyway, but I just realized it's not sustainable. On top of the living costs, and I'm going to be 100%, if you like, transparent here, right? Which is that I used to tutor English and math, and I also used to work on some translation projects. I stopped doing that. I haven't tutored for the past 6 months, and there's a translation project I used to work on, and I excused myself a couple of weeks ago because of too much load. So at this moment in time, even the things I used to do in order to make myself money to put bread on the table, I'm not doing it anymore. And that was obviously with this campaign in mind, obviously. So I'm going to give this a try. We're going to give this fundraising campaign a try, inshallah. If it works out, alhamdulillah, then I'll continue being a full-time Islamic content developer. That's what I want to do. I mean, ideal situation, I spend all my time on reading books, summarizing what's in it, creating the content, and delivering it to you guys. All right? That's the ideal situation, that I spend all my time on that. And I spend no time on uploading content, tending to people with their registrations, and, editing videos. I should not be spending any time on that. I should be hiring people for that. So the ideal situation is that I outsource all of that and I work on what I do best. All right? That's what we're working towards. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. But at the moment, that's not the case, right? I can't be a full-time content developer, yes, without a full-time wage. We all need to, pay for costs and stuff. So at this moment in time, it's not sustainable. So what am I going to do? What's the solution, right? I've shared the goals with you. I shared the challenges with you. What is the solution? Now, the solution is not for me to make these courses paid. Inshallah, I won't do that, right? If anything, I'll just cut down the courses and I'll do what I can for free, right? That's not the solution, because at the end of the day, last thing I want to do is put a paywall in between someone and Islamic knowledge, whereby that person wanted to learn Aqeedah, wanted to learn Tafsir, but they couldn't because they can't afford. All of you have different situations. Some of you are from countries, that are less well off, and there's no way for me to double check how much everybody can afford. If I say everybody pay this much, some of you might afford it, some of you might not. I'm not going to do that. I'll teach what I can for free. قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا, like Allah said. Say to them, I don't ask you for anything in return. So I'm not going to paywall the content. So the only option that I was left with is, well, I've had this kind of conversation before with some of you when I did the Tajweed course, and a lot of you, mashallah, I'm not going to lie, Jazakumullah khair, you've been supportive, but that was a one-off, right? And that's the danger, and that kind of like put me in the predicament I'm in. I was like, oh, mashallah, everybody's supporting, mashallah, things are good. But that was a one-off, and those supports came to an end, and I didn't want to put myself in that situation again, and that's how I got myself in that's how I got where I am today. But that brings me to the solution, which is, it can't be a one-off. We need a monthly income in order to solve this. So that's why I want to push the Patreon, right? So the Patreon, before, for those of you that joined me from the beginning, I decided not to make all my Patreon tiers, with no benefits, right? You join Patreon, you're doing for the sake of Allah, you're supporting this Sadaqatul-Jariyah, you're helping in this Islamic content. I won't give you anything in return. But then I thought to myself, maybe that's not the smart thing to do. As a matter of fact, those people that support me and those people that support this endeavor and this, they deserve to be appreciated for their support. So that's why I've added a lot of different tiers to Patreon, right? And inshallah ta'ala, the target is that we reach $3,000 inshallah in terms of Patreon, so that we can cover all of these costs, which at this moment stand over 1,400, almost going to 1,500, and then other 1,500 would help me in my living costs and everything, so that I don't need to cut classes and start tutoring English again, because I don't enjoy tutoring English, I'll tell you that. So that's the thing. So inshallah ta'ala, that's what I had to say, right? So we're going to give this a try inshallah for this study period. Alhamdulillah, if it works, we'll continue with the same model, and may Allah ta'ala reward all of you. I've told you where your money is going to go. That's what's going to be spent on, inshallah. Let me show you what the benefits are. if you go to Patreon, inshallah, there are different tiers, right? You can sign up for whatever tier that you like, and that you can afford. So we have the £5 tier, so you'll get early access and exclusive voting power. So what's meant by that is, whenever I post something new or new opportunities, new courses, the first place I'll post is on Patreon, because those people that support, those people, I think in terms, they need the appreciation, for their support. So they'll be the first ones to find out. If you have the maintainer tier over here, you also get to join the private community. What's the private community? It's basically, the website that I have is going to have a functionality whereby you can join a private community, whereby there's going to be separate spaces for brothers, for sisters, and for different interests and for different courses. And within that private community, you can ask questions, you can get support if you like, and many different other benefits that I can't share with you now. But the private community basically is all about getting that human support, right? Because what I noticed when it comes to learning is, not all the problems we have when it comes to learning has to do with the academic side of things. Sometimes the emotional side of things. You need a little bit of motivation. You need to be part of a little community in order to stay motivated. So that's what the private community would provide. But the best one, this one, the supported tier, I think gives you most of the benefit, which is you get access to everything else mentioned before. Also, you get access to a live Q&A session I'm going to do on a monthly basis to start off with, a live Q&A session whereby you can post all your questions, and I'm going to address them inshallah ta'ala to the best of my ability, and will prioritize them, and you in the private community can vote on the questions that you feel like need to be addressed the most. And then later on, I'll make the content available to everyone else. I don't want to make everybody feel left out, but you guys will be, those on this tier will be able to guide which questions are going to be answered. And with that, I have to say that unfortunately I won't be able to entertain answering questions via email anymore. I just can't. People ask me fiqh questions, they'll ask me personal questions, and it's difficult. I can't. So this would be the channel where you can get those questions answered basically. You'll also get video tutorials on note-taking methods and apps. So note-taking, knowledge, seeking knowledge. I use many different apps. A lot of you ask me, what app do you use, Ustad? How do you take notes? That's a whole different ball game. Inshallah, those of you on this tier, I'll help you with that. And finally, there will be private practical workshops as well. Like I mentioned, the one for the dua, the one for Quran, Arabic reading. We have some for Arabic language as well. So these kind of workshops where sometimes I hire teachers in Egypt and the likes. Those of you on the supported tier, you'll be able to join those workshops inshallah ta'ala. Obviously, first come, first served. And if the spaces are up, but you'll have access to that inshallah, and we'll make sure that there are enough workshops out there for you to sign up. So this one, the facilitator one, you get everything in supporter, and you also get work in progress updates, things that I'm working on. There's 1,000,001 projects that I've got happening, so I'll give you the updates as a benefit for you, and as a benefit for me, you can give me your feedback so we can polish things up before we produce it. And also you get private consultation, a monthly private consultation, either on learning Arabic, seeking knowledge, how to apply to university in Saudi Arabia, whatever it is. I'm going to give you a link to Calendly, which is kind of like a scheduling tool that I use, and you can schedule the time that suits you. And obviously if it is for sisters, then we either do a group consultation, whatever, or you can maybe get your mahram to ask your questions on your behalf or whatever. Okay. And then finally we have the large contribution, which you get everything obviously in Facilitator, not supported, everything in Facilitator, all of this. And you also get private mentorship. So that's only for 5 people. I'll privately mentor you on your path to knowledge and take you by the hand when it comes to memorizing Quran, learning Arabic, and these sort of things. And that's a very special experience, which we'll talk on a more private level according to your needs, but there's only 5 of those available. So this, inshallah ta'ala, is how I want to give back for those of you that support, and at the same time also try and cover these costs, inshallah, so that these classes, my dear brothers, can stay and they can remain free. Okay, so these classes, they're free because of the the support that some of you give. So those of you that have more ability, that are better well off than those that are not, know that this is Sadaqatul-Jariyah on your behalf. You are facilitating this khair for your brothers and sisters, for the ummah, generally speaking. I will do what I can on my side, but like I said, I am limited. I'm limited in terms of resources. This $3,000 if you like target that I have, that's to achieve the things we're doing now. So we'll upload everything to the website. All the courses will be uploaded. I'll hire people to do that. And I fall short. I really fall short. Like I said to you, why do I want to be able to be a full-time content creator? Because at this moment in time, I just about teach the classes. But the sort of things that I want to do, such as sharing my notes, I don't find time for that. Creating quizzes, I don't find time for that. Creating extra learning resources, flashcards, I want to do all these sort of things, but I don't find time for it because I'm too much boggled up with the admin side of things. I mean, nobody really told me, I wish they did, that Muhammad, if you start teaching online, you'll be starting a small media company. Nobody told me that, but that's the reality. All of these content creators out there and these ustads that teach online, they kind of like, they got a small media company. So some of them they charge to cover their costs, right? And some of them they don't. Maybe they got outside support. And some of them they try to make it work, but their audience allows it. The number of the audience being small, it allows it. I did that for the past year and a half, but right now with the numbers increasing, I can't keep up. With the courses increasing, I can't keep up. So barakallahu feekum, very much appreciated. Now what you're going to do inshallah ta'ala is you're going to fill out the application form. I'm going to share that with you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. There's nothing to hide. As a matter of fact, the fact that I chose Patreon, it shows you, right? We set that target. You'll be able to see when we met that target, right? I'm not giving you my PayPal. Yes, for those one-off contributions, PayPal, that's fine. But for this monthly contribution, you can see for yourself where we got to, right? You can see for yourself where we got to and where the goal is, so that you know that I'm not doing this, as a get rich quick scheme, whatever. Because I know, I mean, you have the right to be skeptical. There's too many scandals that have happened recently when it comes to Islamic content and teaching and asking people for money and the likes. And it's something that I'm not comfortable with. But, I personally believe that you can do one of two things. Either you can charge for your durus, yes, and then khalas, there's no transparency required, it's business. Or you can do these kind of fundraising campaigns, but there has to be transparency so that people know what they are contributing to. And that's why I decided to use Patreon, inshallah. Allah yahfadhkum jami'an. Please forgive me for taking your time, going in length with regards to this. But it is important for the sake of, keeping the khair going. These are the challenges, and I'm sure most of you can appreciate it. And, those of you that have, alhamdulillah, already have up to, I think, 30 Patreons. Jazakumullah khairan. There have been, some of you, mashallah, have been a Patreon from the first day that I started. And the reality is that wherever we got to today and wherever we'll get to in the future, you have a share in that. Because you started the khair, you started supporting the khair from day one. And now it's an opportunity for you to join the khair as well, to make sure that whatever khair that happens in the future and whoever benefits from this in the future, you get your share of the reward. So don't let this opportunity slip up, inshallah ta'ala. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد. Inshallah, some of the plans we have in the future, my dear brothers and sisters, is that we get these things, everything we quote in the lesson translated. The notes are released before lesson. Everything is uploaded. The content's uploaded. There are quizzes. The plan is, inshallah ta'ala, that we even get transcripts for the courses, whereby it's transcribed. And then maybe in the future, we take those transcripts and we turn them into ebooks, and then maybe into printed books. All of these are things we want to reach, but, I can't do by myself, right? So volunteers, financial contribution, these sort of things, they allow us to maximize the benefit. Like I said, all I want to do and all I can do and all I feel like my strength is the going to the sources, the books, organizing them and delivering them in a way that makes sense to the average Muslim, and creating learning resources. And that's what I want to spend most of my time, if not all my time, in. And everything else, I need help.